Welcome to the fourth video of deltasql. This video is dedicated to tagging. So in version control, tagging means to identify a special status of the data model and to name it, to tag it. And this time, looking at the list of projects managed in deltasql, we will not take the multi-vec project. We will take another project named deltasql server. So I hope that this doesn't confuse you. It's just this deltasql server test instance manages also a project named deltasql server, which contains the data model used for deltasql. It's a bit like a compiler that it's able to manage, to compile itself. So in the same way, deltasql is able to manage the data model, the own data model. And we do the example. So right now here we have a deltasql server which is already at version 1.3.6, but today only the version 1.3.5 is published. And assume that for the version 1.3.6 we need a new script. So we submit a new script to the deltasql module, and this script is about a new parameter which is needed. This is just a fake example. In reality we don't need this parameter, but so adding a parameter as comment to handle the maximum number of concurrent things. This will be the script, and it turns green. Okay, we are also able to filter for all scripts which belong to the deltasql module. We do this filtering so that we see that all other scripts are much older. And now assume this is the latest change we do for this 1.3.6 release, and now we would like to tag it. So we tag it in the list branches and tags, and in this case, because deltasql server project is only on head, we will tag head, so the tag will belong to head. But for if we would tag something on the multi-vec project, on the branch of the multi-vec project, then we would need to use this tag. If we would need tag head of the multi-vec project, we would still use this tag. I'll show you how. So we tag here, we give a proper name to the tag. This tag on branch has for release 1.3.6 of deltasql, and the project is deltasql server. If we were to tag multi-vec, we should specify multi-vec. So we insert the tag, and it appears here as the bottom. Assume now you have your own deltasql server used in your company or for your SourceForge or for your open source project, and assume you have the version 1.3.3, and from the home page you download the version 1.3.6. so you would like to perform the data model changes which are needed without losing what you already, all your scripts which you have in production. So currently I know at least 2 instances of deltasql which have about 2000 scripts in them. And in this particular case, you shouldn't specify a version number. If you specify a version number here, you will receive an error. So you see here error 16, version number not allowed if synchronizing from a tag. And why is this so? This is because when you specify your deltasql tag 1.3.3, this implies also a version number, and if you specify it, then deltasql doesn't know anymore, should I take the version which is implied into the tag, or should I take it the version which the user tells me. And when you finally hit on the generate synchronization script, you get all changes between version 1.3.3 and version 1.3.6. So we have this real table which was introduced with 1.3.4, and we have also our little example here. We added it now for making the example more complex. And the synchronization step, there is this part of updating the synchronization table where in the column tag name we set the tag deltasql. So if you notice that in this column tag name of the table to be synchronized there is a tag, you can use this tag, but nobody prevents you to use the version number and the branch name, so the two are completely equivalent. Set this, we just can show something more, that in the list branches and tags at the bottom there is the ability to create a graph of what happened now with the project. So if we select the deltasql server and we get the tree graph, we see, okay, it has a head currently at version 160, and it had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tags. The latest one we added in this video. This is all for this video. Hope to see you in the next video.